the maxim of al-asbab, the maxim of causes, or causation, or causality. And just to remind ourselves of that maxim, it is ظن شيء سببا ولم تثبت سببيته لا بالشرع ولا بالتجربة الظاهرة المباشرة. It's basically when you believe that one thing is a cause for a certain effect, and you can't support that belief of causality or causation. You can't support it, not with the religion, not with a religious text or a consensus of the scholars, and you can't support it with clinical trials, empirical data, or even anecdotal data that reach the point of immutable fact. And so this is another example, at-tabarruk, the example of at-tabarruk, seeking blessings from something. And blessings in the language of the Arabs, and first of all, let me say this, that the Imam, he just said the chapter regarding the one who seeks blessings from. And he didn't say that it was a shirk. He didn't mention a specific ruling for it. And that is because it depends. It's a nuanced discussion. It's not black and white. So there's some types of seeking of blessings which are major shirk. There are some types of seeking of blessings which are minor shirk. There's some types or some forms of seeking of blessings which are sinful. And there are some types of seeking of blessings which are heresies. They're bid'ah. They're innovations. They don't have a basis for them. And there's some types which are actually what? Legislated. And we're going to see that shortly. So the Imam rahimahullah ta'ala, he mentions this concept of at-tabarruk, seeking blessings. And basically, seeking blessings in the language of the Arabs, or tabarruk, it revolves around two sets of meanings, or two concepts. The first one is ad-dawam wal-istimrar. It is perpetuity and continuation. A person seeks to what? To make something that's existing continue to exist without change. For example, a person may be in a situation where they're prosperous and they seek a tabarruk, or they make a tabarruk to do what? To continue that prosperity, to make it something that doesn't what? It doesn't end. Y'all see that? A person may be youthful and strong and they make a tabarruk seeking to what? To make that strength and that youthfulness continue in perpetuity. Y'all see that? That's one example, or one part of the concept of a tabarruk. The other one is a ziyada wa nama. A ziyada wa nama, which basically means increase, growth, and enhancement. A person wants to enhance something, make it grow, make it increase, make it more than what it was. That's another aspect of the concept of tabarruk. And there are basically two categories of tabarruk in Islam. The first one is qismun mashru'a, and the second one is qismun ghair mashru'a. One that's legislated, it's allowed, it's legal, it's permitted, and there's one that's not permitted, it's forbidden, it is banned. The first one, al-qism al-mashru'a, the one that's legislated and allowed, is divided into two more what? Categories. Diniya wa dunyawiyya. Religious and non-religious or secular. Religious tabarruk, one example of it, is a tabarruk biz-zaman, seeking the blessings of what? Of a time or a season. Give me an example of a blessed season in Islam. A blessed time or a blessed season. Ramadan. Ahsantum, Ramadan. We all seek the blessings of what? Ramadan. We seek the enhancement and the growth of what? Of our good deeds. You guys see that? So this is an example of what? A tabarruk, seeking the blessings of what? Of a time frame or a season. Another example is a tabarruk bil makan. There are some places that are particularly blessed, and we seek the blessings of those places. Give me an example of a blessed place. Ahsant, al-Haram or al-Haramain. The two what? The two sanctuaries. Mecca and Medina. Y'all see that? But another example of the religious legislated tabarruk is a tabarruk bil amal. There are certain deeds we do seeking what? seeking perpetuity, seeking what? Continuation of what? Of ourselves in the afterlife. And the growth of what? Of our fortunes in the afterlife. Like what? As-salat or siyam, fasting and prayer. Y'all see that? There's also the what? There are certain people that are blessed. Like who? Like who? Huh? The Prophet ﷺ. Not just anybody. And who is it up to say who's blessed in terms of what? A person. Allah. Y'all see that? So certainly the Prophet is what? He's blessed. He's blessed himself. Fi dhatihi. And that's why the companions sometimes they would do what? They would rub the Prophet. They would rub the Prophet. Also the Prophet's effects. The things that he touched. His bowl, his spoon, his cup, his what? His jubba, his cloak. Y'all see that? The things that came out of him, like his spittle. The Prophet would spit and companions would do what? They would catch it out of the air and rub it on themselves. Tabarrukan bihi sallallahu. Y'all see that? So these are all examples of what? A tabarruk al-mashru'. Okay? His water from his wudu. Ahsant. Things that came off of him. Jazakallah khair. You also have a tabarruk ad-dunyawi. That's mashru'. The legislated tabarruk, which is dunyawi. It's not something that's, it might be confirmed by the sharia, but the barakah was put in it by Allah before what? Before it had anything to do with what? Religion. Like what? Al-asal. Like honey. Honey is blessed. And it can give us what? The benefit, the blessing of what? Of good health. You see that? And it can improve your health if it becomes what? If it becomes poor. And the proof, as the Prophet ﷺ, he said, Shifa ummati fi thalath. He said the cure for my ummah is in what? It's in three things. And one of them he mentioned what? Shurbat asal. A drink of what? A drink of honey. He also said, Al-habbat al-sawda, shifa'un min kulli da'illa ila al-maut. He said, the black seed is a cure for any illness except death. We can seek the barakah of what? The black seed. Y'all see that? So these are examples of tabarruk, which is what? Dunyawi. But it was confirmed by what? By the deen. Y'all see that? It's not an act of worship to eat al-habba sawda. But if you eat it, seeking the blessing of it, inshallah you'll get the blessing of it. Because what? Allah's confirmed that it's when He made it what? Blessed. You also have, so we said that the tabarruk is what? It's two types. Two main categories. Mashru', legislated, and the one that's what? Mamnu', it's not legislated. The legislated one we said is two categories. Dini and dunyawi, and we gave examples. At-tabarruk al-mamnu' is the tabarruk where a person seeks blessings in a way that's not established by the deen. And that also is what? Is categories. But we've talked too much tonight. And so we're going to have to stop there. And in order for you to find out what those categories are, you have to come back tomorrow. هذا وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين وجزاكم الله خيرا.